Happy Friday! Welcome back to another weekend vlog. I just got home. I made myself a decaf blueberry iced latte. I know it looks a bit disgusting because the blueberry syrup turns the coffee green, but it tastes delicious. Welcome back. Happy weekend. I am so excited for the weekend. I have some fun things planned. I am currently editing my March wrap up, and I thought I would quickly talk about the book that I'm reading at the moment, which is Lisa Taddeo's Ghost Lover. This is a short story collection that I picked up when I was in Estonia 2 summers ago. I went there for work and we went to this lovely bookshop that was a secondhand bookshop, a used bookshop, and I found this. And I had to take it with me because I love Lisa Taddeo's Animal. That's one of my favorite books of all time. Maybe I need to reread to see if it still holds up. But when I read Animal for the first time, my mind was blown. I also read Three Women by Lisa Taddeo. I liked it a lot, but it wasn't my favorite. Because not everything can be your favorite. No, I'm just saying because Three Women is really successful, and I think it's the book that most people associate with Lisa Taddeo. And yeah, as I've said, I enjoyed it, but it didn't necessarily have that much of an impact on me. This one is quite fun. It definitely reminds me why I love Lisa Taddeo's writing so much. She's very in your face and she doesn't hold back, and especially when it comes to sex and relationships, she's not afraid to put it out there, and I love that about her writing. So I have been enjoying this short story collection. My little routine is to read one short story before I go to sleep, so I'm excited to read another one tonight. I am about halfway through the book, I would say. And then I also started listening to the audiobook of Lena Dunham's new book, which I'm also enjoying very much. I kind of lost touch with her, my close personal friend Lena Dunham. No, but she was a big inspiration to me when Girls was on TV, and I was in my early 20s and going to university. I remember me and my roommate, we used to love watching Girls and just relate to these characters. I also need to do a rewatch of Girls now that I have HBO Max. But then she kind of faded away, at least for me. And I know that she's also addressing this in her new book because she got cancelled at some point. And I also read her first book, and I remember again it being very inspirational to me, and I gave it to so many friends of mine, and we all loved it. So, yeah, that's why I started this new book of hers, just to see what it's all about and maybe reconnect with her a little bit. And also, yeah, just learn about her perspective on everything that happened to her, especially in the media and how she was treated. And also, I think she's talking about her battle with endometriosis, and I also have endometriosis, so I'm very interested in hearing what she has to say about this illness. That's it book wise. As I've said, I am editing my March wrap up, which should be out when you see this. And then let's see what the night brings. I might order a pizza because I didn't do a food shop and it's Friday night and I'm exhausted and my week was crazy. And then tomorrow morning I have to get up early because I'm getting a new tattoo. I'm so excited. I'm going to a new artist that is an artist I've never been with before, but now I will just ease into the weekend.
don't know if I can find my way out. I'm stuck in a prison of doubt. In this tiny shell, and everything is growing up tight. There's no room to breathe, and nobody is watching at night. The water rises. Need a friend to shake me out again. Need a friend to shake me out again. I don't know if I can find my way out. In this tiny shell, and everything is growing up tight. There's no room to breathe. Fall into the ocean. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching in. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. It's coming. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching in. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. I'm reaching. It's coming. I'm reaching.
Just a quick hello. I didn't really talk to you guys yesterday. I got my tattoo. It took us 7 hours to finish it. Therefore, I was super exhausted after the session. I just went home and had a frozen pizza for dinner, and we watched Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which was terrible. I couldn't even give a rating on Letterboxd because it was so bad. Anyway, even though it was so bad, it was the perfect film for last night because I was so exhausted. I couldn't really pay attention. I fell asleep at some point. But that's exactly the movie night that I needed after a long day of getting tattooed. I'm so happy the way my tattoo came out. I won't show you now because it's wrapped up in second skin and it looks quite nasty. It's still, the ink is still bleeding a little bit, so it looks very messy, but I will show you at some other point in some other video, I'm sure. We are about to have dinner and we are starting The Pit tonight. I'm so excited. I have been wanting to watch this for such a long time, and now we finally have HBO Max in Germany, so we can watch it. Fun fact about me, I was the biggest ER fan. I even wrote my bachelor thesis on ER. And it's so funny because now the actor who played Dr. Carter is one of the characters in The Pit, and he's playing a doctor again. And I think it also takes place in the emergency room, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously, I've heard so many great things about The Pit, so I'm excited to watch it either way. So let's see if it holds up, if it's worth the hype. And then usually I have Mondays off, but tomorrow I have to work. And I do have the Sunday scaries. That's the nice thing about having Mondays off. You don't really get the Sunday scaries. But I was working last Monday, and then I'm also working tomorrow. And I have to say, it definitely affects my Sunday nights. So can't wait to be back on my regular schedule and having Mondays off. All right, I will set up the TV now in the living room, and then we will have a cozy night, trying to combat the Sunday scaries with a high intense TV series. I think that sounds like a good plan. Good morning. It is Tuesday. I have decided to prolong this vlog because I didn't really film that much on the weekend. And I thought before I go to work, I would update you on my reading because I finished my book last night. I finished Ghost Lover by Elisa Tadeo, and it was incredible. I love her writing so much. It just really clicks for me. Is one of these I feel like she's one of those authors where I'm guaranteed to enjoy the book, at least in terms of writing. I also have Three Women, which I have read. I think I already talked about this. And then definitely my favorite by her and one of my favorite books of all time, Animal. I'm so happy that all of my editions match. I would describe her writing style as gut punching. I feel like she's so good at describing situations that feel very uncomfortable, that are very problematic, yet she just kind of forces you to stay in the situation with her, and she really doesn't sugarcoat anything. And also, she refrains from sarcasm, which I appreciate in this case because I like her realistic approach and her dry writing. I would say the themes in this short story collection are very similar to the themes that she already talks about in Three Women and also in Animal. There are a lot of stories about sexual abuse, problematic relationships, and also this book had several short stories that were about women who were aging and how they were dealing with this. Again, not in a very glamorized, idealistic way, but instead she points out how these women are trying to cling to something that reminds them of their youth. And I thought she did that so well. I really felt like I knew these characters. There were also several stories that dealt with online dating, and I think that correlates with this book coming out in 2022, even though, of course, it is still a very current topic, but I feel like it really matches the time of its publication. What always happens with short story collections, I love short stories, but what always happens is at some point, especially when you read them back to back, they kind of muddle together. But in this case, I feel like it was somewhat of a stylistic choice because she is similar to Three Women. She is writing about this female experience that kind of connects us. And I'm sure if you read this and you are a woman, you will find yourself in this book, maybe even several times. So I thought that was rather clever. I don't know if she did it on purpose, but that's what I would read into it. I'm very lucky that I had this at home, and I'm glad that I finally read it. It was perfect. It was perfect timing because I am so busy at the moment that reading feels a bit overwhelming, but reading a short story every night was very manageable and something that I would look forward to. So, yeah, overall, a great reading experience. All right, I have to go to work. Tomorrow, I have a day off and I have to go to the post office and pick up my copy of Jazz by Toni Morrison because that's the April book club choice for Anna Wallace Johnson's book club that's on her Patreon. And I got a membership to her Patreon for my birthday. And I had ordered a copy already, but I accidentally bought a French copy. And my French is not that good. So I ordered another one and it's stuck at the post office. So I have to go and pick it up tomorrow. All right, I have to go. Talk to you later.
Reaching out.